my name is Julie and I'm a Senior Business Intelligence Engineer at Amazon. Congrats on moving forward in the interview process. Amazon is truly a data-driven company, and as a result, our analytics professionals are both critical and valued. As one of the world's largest and most respected employers, Amazon is a fantastic place to either begin or continue your career in analytics. We appreciate the time and effort you've put in so far. Interviewing at Amazon may be different than interviews you've done before. This video, in addition to other prep material you've received, will help set you up for success. It is important that you spend time preparing for the interview. You will likely be asked to provide significant details about past projects, as well as your approach to hypothetical situations. Think deeply not about what you did, but how and why you did it that way. Feel free to ask clarifying questions. Do not rely on assumptions. Try to understand and think about the problem before you jump into a solution. Think out loud. The interviewer would like to hear your thought process and assess how you make decisions and trade-offs. Now let's get into specific technical and functional aspects of the role and how to prepare. SQL is the bread and butter of the BIE role. It's very difficult to receive an offer without demonstrating strong SQL skills. Please be prepared to use a live code link to write your SQL code. During this exercise, you will be expected to demonstrate an understanding of functions and best practices of common SQL concepts. For example, joins, unions, where, and having clauses, various window functions, and common table expressions. But only use them where they're necessary, not just for the sake of showing them off. You will be expected to come up with an efficient SQL query in a reasonable amount of time, while also being familiar with ways of simplifying a complex query and optimizing performance. Be sure to think about edge cases. There are always surprises. The next competency we will discuss is building visualizations and dashboards. Expect the interviewer to assess your ability to translate data into meaningful visualizations for the business. Be prepared to talk about a dashboard or visualization you've previously built. Go deep into why you built it, what design best practices you followed, what interactive features you included, how you sourced the data, and what impact it had on the audience. Another way this could be assessed is an interviewer might provide a data set and ask questions as if they were a director or manager looking for particular trends or insights. You should explain what kind of visualization would best serve that purpose. Now we're going to go over the section of the interview covering analytical problem solving. Expect the interviewer to give you a hypothetical but plausible business question and ask you to think logically through the problem. Start by asking questions to establish context, then suggest potential methodologies and the pros and cons of each. The interviewer is more interested in your thought process and how you approach the problem rather than nailing the technical details. Be sure to consider the business dynamics. How are they reflected in the underlying data, and how do they impact your analysis? Possible questions and solutions may involve statistical concepts, including but not limited to measures of distribution, outliers, statistical significance, regression models, and A/B testing. In order to be successful in this role, you must show an ability to not only have technical skills, but also the business acumen and experience working directly with business stakeholders to help them achieve their objectives. Be prepared to describe examples of when you've worked with the business, and potentially multiple stakeholders, to gather requirements and create appropriate BI solutions to meet their use cases. You should be comfortable engaging stakeholders to understand the ultimate problem they're trying to solve and working backwards from that problem. You should consider trade-offs that may need to be made or components of your solution that could be deprioritized or built in phases if on a tight timeline. You should be able to explain technical topics to a non-technical audience. You should anticipate and accommodate some ambiguity. Be comfortable proposing solutions even when the business is not sure what to ask for. The last competency that will be assessed is showing knowledge and ability with scripting. The specific scripting language may vary, and you may state your preference. The most commonly used are Python and R. Be prepared to review code and identify errors or needed updates, or, given a case study, be able to at least write pseudocode to solve the problem. Any abilities above that expectation are only going to help you secure the offer. Thank you for taking the time to watch this video. Hopefully it will help you to feel more confident going into the final interview round. Be sure to reach out to your recruiter with any questions about the content covered in this video. We wish you all the best in your preparation and interview. Good luck.